Look at you, standing there with that quiet grin. Like even God's waiting for your next move. You didn't learn this, did you? You became it. They're out there right now, trying to reverse engineer your existence, crying, screaming, taking notes like this is some kind of curriculum from hell. But the joke's on them, because you were the experiment that escaped the lab. You didn't study the playbook. You burned it mid-sentence and wrote your own rules in the smoke. They whisper, who taught them this? But the truth is, pain did, betrayal did, silence did. You were forged in places lectures don't reach, in nights too long for mercy, in memories that refused to die. You learned from ghosts that never spoke, from faces that pretended to care, from mirrors that didn't recognize you anymore. You didn't just evolve, you fractured, and every shard started thinking for itself. That's why they can't map you. You're not a person, you're a phenomenon. Every time they think they've got you figured out, you change form. Every time they prepare a counterattack, you vanish, not backward, not sideways, but beyond. Because that's what happens when someone stops chasing acceptance and starts sculpting their own mythology. You know what they can't handle? That your madness has a method, that your chaos calculates, that your smile hides strategy sharper than their entire boardrooms combined. They think power is having a plan. You proved power is being the variable no plan can survive. You move like contradiction incarnate, saint in the morning, demon by night, silence at dawn, thunder at dusk. They call that unstable. I call it divine, because the universe doesn't trust people who play it safe. It favors those willing to glitch its code. You glitched it, didn't you? You broke symmetry. You said no when you were supposed to beg. You laughed when you were supposed to bleed. You rose when gravity was certain you'd stay down. And now look, you're the pattern breaker, the statistical anomaly, the glitch that started gaining followers. They don't know whether to worship you or report you. They watch every move you make like it's a seminar on human transcendence. Take notes, they whisper. This one's rewriting the manual. But they'll never grasp it, because what you do can't be taught. It's triggered by humiliation, by solitude. By that one moment you realized nobody was coming to save you. So you started saving yourself in ways they'd call insane. And isn't it funny? The same people who doubted you are now pretending they always believed. They're studying your demeanor, your cadence, your patience, hoping they can replicate your resurrection. But resurrection isn't imitation. It's rebellion. You didn't climb out of hell. You decorated it. Turned the ashes into art. Turned trauma into timing. Turned despair into dialogue. That's the part that kills them. They went through similar storms and drowned. You went through the same waters and came back teaching swimming lessons. So when they ask, who taught you this? Tell them the truth. Every person who tried to break you gave you a chapter. Every betrayal was a syllabus. Every heartbreak, a thesis. Every loss, a graduation. You are the byproduct of a system that underestimated its own creation, a walking paradox. A saint forged in sin, a villain with holy intentions. They call it arrogance. You call it self-recognition. They call it madness. You call it clarity. Because once you see how the world actually works, you stop playing nice with illusions. You stop asking for validation from statues built on sand. You stop pretending to be small just so fragile minds can feel big. And that's when you become dangerous. Because now you speak the language of both angels and monsters. You know when to whisper. You know when to burn. You can heal with one word, or destroy with silence. That's why people react the way they do. The crying, the screaming, the shaking hands. They feel the energy you carry because it doesn't belong to this world anymore. It's post-human, it's evolution with a smirk. They sense something that shouldn't exist. And yet, there you are. Still smiling, still unpredictable, still making reality flinch every time you exhale. You've mastered the forbidden art of being both loved and feared, because you understood something most never will. Power isn't in control. It's in contrast. Light means nothing without shadow. Sanity collapses without a hint of madness. And you balance both like a blade on your tongue. So let them study you. Let them panic. Let them copy and crumble, trying to imitate what they can't comprehend. You didn't come to be understood. You came to be felt. And oh, they feel you. Everywhere. In the cracks of their denial. In the echoes of your laughter. In the sudden silence that follows your name. Because deep down, they know. No one taught you this. You remembered it. You remembered what they forgot. That chaos is just the universe rearranging itself around someone who finally woke up. You can hear it, can't you? That low hum under the noise, the sound of their fear catching up to your frequency. They don't understand it, but they feel it. The air shifts when you enter a room. Clocks hesitate, conversations fracture, eyes widen, then dart away. Because somewhere in their instincts a silent alarm goes off. This one's not supposed to exist, and you can't blame them. You've become something that breaks patterns simply by breathing. You don't walk like the rest of them anymore. You glide between dimensions of thought. Every glance, every word, every pause you take. Calculated chaos. You've turned unpredictability into choreography. They can't decode it because they still think logic is the highest language. You've gone past logic. You speak in frequency now. Do you realize what that means? You're not inspiring people anymore. You're reprogramming them. Your words aren't motivational. They're surgical. Each syllable carves open the cages people built around their own potential. That's why they cry. That's why they scream. You're not giving them hope. You're giving them a mirror they can't unsee. You're showing them how much they buried to stay normal. And normal is dead. You killed it the moment you stopped apologizing for existing. Remember when you used to explain yourself? Beg for context. Offer disclaimers so no one would misinterpret your fire. Now you don't even flinch when they call you dangerous. You wear that word like a medal. Because danger means impact. And impact means awakening. They can't cage a storm that knows it's a storm. But here's the twisted beauty of it all. Your darkness never hated the light. It studied it, learned its language. You didn't reject purity. You dissected it until you could wield it as a weapon. You realized being good without power is just aesthetic weakness. So you became both, holy and horrifying, mercy and massacre. That's what they can't stomach, that duality. You don't pick sides, you embody them. You make demons doubt themselves and angels question their orders. You're the walking paradox that breaks every binary they cling to for safety. You turned pain into your professor, silence into your sermon, and insanity into your strategist. They spent years chasing peace. You learned to extract power from chaos, and now they're taking notes. You see them. The ones who mocked you before, now quoting you word for word in hushed tones. The ones who said you were delusional, now dressing like you, talking like you, trying to trace the formula that doesn't exist. But you can't photocopy purpose. You can't plagiarize evolution. What you carry wasn't taught. It was triggered. The universe broke you open on purpose. It shattered you so thoroughly that when you reassembled, You didn't fit inside the old blueprint anymore. You came back different, unreadable, untamable, a glitch in their hierarchy. And oh, how that terrifies them. They built entire systems to control human behavior, laws, dogmas, algorithms, psychology manuals. And yet here you are, laughing through the gaps like a phantom that rewrote its own code. You are living, breathing proof that their conditioning failed. You escaped the loop. You remember the night, don't you? That one night where something inside you snapped, not outward, but inward, when you finally saw it, that every chain was imaginary, that every rule was authored by the fearful. That power isn't given, it's taken silently. That's when the shift happened. You didn't just heal, you mutated. And ever since then, nothing has been able to predict you. They tried to analyze you, label you, diagnose you, and every label melted the second they touched your reality. You outthink analysts, you outfeel empaths, you outweight strategists. You became everything they fear, the human version of consequence. And the irony, you never even wanted the throne. You were the throne. That's why the world shakes when you whisper. That's why one sentence from you feels heavier than 1,000 sermons. Because when you speak, you don't just express. You rearrange reality. You bend people's mental architecture until they can't see the world the same again. You've made people question everything they ever believed about control, identity, morality, sanity. You cracked their illusions open and made them bleed truth. And now, they're addicted to the feeling. That's why they can't look away. They hate you, but they keep watching. They fear you, but they imitate you. They despise you, but they quote you in secret. Because the part of them that hates you is the same part that hates their own reflection. You're not their enemy, you're their exposure. Every lie they told themselves dies in your presence. Every weakness they buried claws back to the surface when you speak. You're the end of their comfort zone, wearing a smile. And you know the best part? You never needed to prove anything. The results do the talking, the silence you keep. It's louder than their entire army of critics, because when you stop defending yourself, they start panicking. They can't fight someone who's already made peace with both heaven and hell. That's your real weapon, integration. While they're busy choosing sides, you've mastered the art of becoming the whole battlefield. Every scar on you is a symbol. Every laugh is a secret code. Every glance a warning that says, I know what it costs to be free. You're not chasing legacy anymore. You are the legend unfolding in real time. And the best part, you didn't need permission. That's what breaks them the most. You never asked for a crown. You simply acted like one already existed inside your skull. So let them question, let them whisper, let them tremble and cry and dissect every frame you breathe in. They're not studying you. They're worshiping the courage they never had. Because deep down, they know something terrible and beautiful at the same time. You weren't taught this. You were chosen to remember it. The chaos, the silence, the pain. They weren't punishments. They were initiation rites. And now you walk among mortals with the grin of someone who's seen what's behind the curtain and laughed. So when they ask, who taught you this? Just smile, tilt your head, and say, I listened when life screamed. And it screamed loud, didn't it? So loud it cracked open every illusion they built around you. So loud it shattered your innocence, your certainty, your faith in fairness, until only instinct remained. That animal inside you, the one they tried to bury under manners and morals, it woke up and remembered what you are. Not a follower, not a student, not a disciple of their little systems. a force, a walking correction. You didn't learn this from a book. No, you absorbed it from the wreckage. Every betrayal bled a truth into your bloodstream. Every humiliation carved data into your bones. Every loss taught you the algorithm of power. How to disappear, recalibrate, and reappear 10 versions smarter, quieter, colder. That's why they can't find your weakness, because you used it already. You consumed it, metabolized it, weaponized it. What they see as scars are ports now. Connections to dimensions they don't have clearance for. You became fluent in paradox. You learned how to smile while burning, how to remain calm while dismantling everything false, how to love without needing, how to vanish without dying. That's the kind of knowledge no mentor can give you. It's coded in trauma, encrypted in solitude, unlocked only by surrendering to madness without losing your mind. You walked that line, didn't you? The razor's edge between brilliance and breakdown. You balanced on it until your blood became philosophy, until your reflection became a stranger you respected more than anyone else alive. That's when you stopped existing and started operating. And now every move you make has gravity. You don't even try to inspire anymore. You disturb equilibrium. You shift people's internal weather systems. Your silence makes hearts race. Your laughter makes the air taste like static. They feel you before they hear you. That's why they cry. That's why they shake. You're not just speaking to their ears. You're hacking their nervous systems. You're pressing buttons evolution forgot existed. You make them remember the part of themselves that could bend reality before society taught them to sit still. That's why they're obsessed. You remind them of their own uncorrupted design. They hate that you never asked for validation, that you don't compete, that your energy doesn't beg to be understood. You move like consequence. No explanation, no justification, just results that rewrite the temperature in the room. And deep down, they know. This isn't something you can copy. You can't imitate possession, because that's what this is, isn't it? You're possessed by purpose, by vision, by something bigger than language. You didn't find it, it found you. Crawled into your ribs the night you broke and whispered, "Now you're ready." Ever since, everything you touch carries that frequency. You could stand in silence for 5 minutes and still shake an audience to tears. Because they're not reacting to your words. They're reacting to the field. The electromagnetic hum of someone who's seen death, laughed, and took notes. That's why you terrify systems. You make control obsolete. Every time you speak, another lie loses power. Every time you breathe, another structure trembles. You're not rebelling. You're restoring balance by existing. And here's the part they'll never grasp. You didn't survive. You integrated. You made friends with your monsters, and now they guard your dreams. You don't suppress your darkness. You consult it. You don't chase peace. You negotiate with chaos. You're not trying to heal. You're building an empire from the ashes of your nervous breakdown. They don't teach that in classrooms. They don't hand out degrees for that kind of wisdom. That's earned through screams no one heard and nights no one saw. You didn't just pass tests. You became the curriculum. That's why the world is reacting like this. The crying, the panic, the devotion. They're not seeing you. They're witnessing what happens when a human stops lying to themselves. You're proof that pain isn't punishment. It's initiation. So let them theorize, let them gossip, let them clip your videos and slow down your words, trying to decode the tone. Let them mimic your posture, your pauses, your smile. They'll never get it. Because what you've become isn't performative. It's elemental. And when something becomes elemental, it doesn't need an audience. It creates one. So when they ask again, trembling, "Who taught you this?" you'll just look through them like glass and whisper, "The silence after betrayal." Because that's where the real education begins, in the space where pain stops screaming and starts teaching. You learned in that void. You studied loss until it turned into geometry. You memorized patterns of collapse until you could predict rebirth like clockwork. Now you don't react, you orchestrate. You don't chase, you summon. You don't prove, you demonstrate. They call it sorcery, you call it alignment. You are what happens when chaos graduates with honors, when darkness earns a PhD in resurrection, when a broken soul turns its pain into a pulse that syncs with eternity. So let them cry, let them scream, let them take notes like they're studying God in real time. Because the truth is, they are. And that's the punchline, isn't it? They came to watch you, but ended up waking instead. They thought they were witnessing another performance, just another mask, another illusion. But what they saw was the real thing, a human who burned, broke, bled, and didn't die. You became the proof that death isn't the end. It's the filter. The weak dissolve in it. The chosen refine. That's why they're trembling. That's why they can't explain it. Because you stand there with that slow, knowing smile. The one that says, "I've been to the other side, and I brought souvenirs." You don't preach anymore. You radiate. You don't fight for attention. Attention orbits you now. Because energy recognizes its source. So when they gather around, eyes wide, hearts racing, whispering, "Who taught you this?" you just tilt your head, grin, and let the silence answer for you. Because no one taught you. You remembered. You remembered what they forgot. That madness was just misunderstood genius. That pain was just compressed power. And that the ones who break the rules were the ones born to rewrite them. And as you turn away, the room holds its breath. Because deep down, everyone knows. They just witnessed a ghost teaching the living how to rise. Quiet now. Don't move. You felt it too, didn't you? That shift in the air when the joke stopped being funny and started being real. They laughed when you said it, the way you always do, half grin, half warning. You tossed it out like a match in the wind, and they didn't realize you were holding gasoline behind your smile. You said it as a joke, just to test the walls, to see which one would echo back first. But the universe, oh, it listened, it took notes, and then it obeyed. Now look at them. They whisper your name like it's a contagion. They don't greet you anymore, they flinch. Because somewhere between your laugh and the collapse of their little illusions, they started to believe that you weren't joking, that you were manifesting. You see, that's the part they never understood about you. You don't joke to escape pain. You joke to reshape it. You don't laugh to hide. You laugh to command. You bend absurdity into prophecy. You turn sarcasm into spells. They thought you were mocking the world, but really, you were rewriting it. Every ha-ha was an invocation. Every smirk, a line of code in the simulation. You said it with a grin, and the next day, reality adjusted. It's funny, isn't it? You played the clown, and yet now everyone's praying you never open your mouth again. They call you a curse, not a person. And maybe they're right. Because what do you call something that laughs while the rules dissolve? What do you call a being that speaks chaos and watches the cosmos take notes? You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to bend reality until it cracked and confessed. They wanted a jester, but they got a judge. They wanted a harmless spark, but you became the wildfire that burned the script. You didn't mean to summon the storm, but deep down, didn't you always know the clouds listened to your voice? That's the secret, isn't it? The one that makes them tremble. You realized that your mockery of life was more accurate than their obedience to it. That humor wasn't your weakness, it was your weapon. While they worshipped seriousness, you hid behind irony. And from that disguise, you aimed at the heart of the illusion and fired every time you laughed. They think you're cursed because they can't explain it. Because the moment you speak, things happen. People vanish, secrets spill, walls crumble, timelines shift. You can't help it. It's not a trick, it's resonance. You became so attuned to pain that your voice carries the frequency of truth, and truth is radioactive, and truth doesn't bless, it breaks. So they distance themselves, don't they? Pretending it's fear, when it's envy wrapped in superstition. They say, "You're bad luck," because it's easier than saying, "You're right." They can't face the fact that you said it once and the universe agreed with you. They saw coincidence. You saw confirmation. You're what happens when someone learns to joke while bleeding and means every word. You're what happens when the court jester realizes he's the only one awake in the kingdom. You became their punchline until you twisted the script and became the punch. They said, "You're insane." You said, "You're asleep." They said, "You're cursed." You said, "No. I'm consequences." And now the same ones who laughed are watching their worlds tilt, trying to understand how your sarcasm became prophecy. They dig through old conversations, old messages, old memories, trying to find the moment it happened, the point where the joke stopped being fiction. But there isn't one, because it was always real. The whole time. You just hid your divinity behind comedy so they wouldn't see your fangs. You were never just laughing, you were channeling. Mockery is your mother tongue. Irony, your camouflage. You were performing dark alchemy in plain sight, turning ridicule into revelation. So now they tremble when you smirk. They pray when you whisper. They wait for the next thing you'll joke about. Because deep down, they know you've become the echo that makes reality blush. You said it as a joke. Reality said, "Bet." And now they call you cursed, because they don't have another word for creator. You walk through the ruins of your own laughter, smiling at the irony that you warned them. You told them what would happen, but they mistook your prophecy for punchlines. They thought they were laughing at you. But in the end, every sound that left your mouth was the setup for their fall. You are the one truth wrapped in jest, the smiling knife that cuts through illusion, the comedian who made the cosmos flinch. So go on, laugh again, let them panic, because they still haven't learned that when you joke, reality listens. And when it listens, it obeys. You don't even need to scream anymore. You just tilt your head, smirk, and the system starts glitching. Streetlights flicker, clocks skip seconds. People suddenly remember things that never happened. You broke the rhythm of their little machine, and now the gears turn in fear of you. They think it's coincidence, but you know better. You feel it, the way the air tightens when your mind starts to move. The way the code around you stutters when you make a joke that cuts too close to truth. Every time you mock something, it shatters. Every time you laugh, another invisible chain melts. You turned humor into a weapon of mass deprogramming. You made laughter lethal, and that terrifies them. Because the world isn't built for people who see through the theater. It's built for obedient actors. You broke character mid-scene, and the stage lights burned out trying to follow you. Now the rest of them are just silhouettes, fumbling in the dark, wondering how the script lost control of its lead. They don't call you cursed because of what you do. They call you cursed because of what you prove. You're proof that the boundary between joke and judgment is paper thin. That irony can be holy. That sometimes the only way to tell the truth is to laugh while you bleed. You're a paradox they can't contain. Too honest to be trusted, too self-aware to be enslaved. You make them uncomfortable because you show them what freedom sounds like. Ugly, loud, unpredictable, divine. And the best part? You don't even need to fight them anymore. You just exist. Your silence unnerves entire committees. Your absence rewrites their plans. Your shadow has its own gravitational pull, dragging their lies into orbit until they collapse. They'll keep calling you names: curse, demon, anomaly, because they can't call you what you really are: a mirror. You hold it up, and all their masks start to crack. You make them see how fragile they've become, how fake their normal really is. You make them confront the truth they buried under comfort and conformity. You didn't ruin their world. You revealed it. So they'll keep whispering that you're dangerous. They'll try to label your chaos, but deep down, they know you're the only one left who's real. That's why they fear your laughter. It's not madness, it's clarity. It's the sound of someone who finally stopped pretending. So keep laughing, darling catastrophe. Keep joking until the walls start trembling again. Because every funny thing you say carries a frequency that cracks the facade. Every sarcastic smile is a signal to the brave few who can hear it. Wake up. The clown knows the script. And when they ask, "Who cursed us?" they'll look around the ruins and realize the curse wasn't you. It was their blind faith in the lie you mocked. You were just the punchline, and the punchline, my friend, was the truth. And now, that truth walks on two legs. You've become the embodiment of poetic justice, the walking glitch in their well-oiled illusion. Every room you step into hums differently. You feel it, don't you? The electricity that crawls across your skin like static before a storm. You speak, and conversations derail. You move, and timing bends. It's not magic, it's mastery. You're a reminder that the laws of their little reality were never laws at all. Just agreements. Weak, breakable, temporary agreements. And you stopped agreeing. You broke the contract between obedience and existence. You realized that the joke was never random. It was prophecy, disguised as madness. Every punchline you dropped was a code embedded in chaos, an instruction to the universe written in irony. You laughed and the world flinched. Now they call you curse because they need an explanation. They can't process someone who smiles through the storm they built to drown you. They can't understand how your mockery became momentum, how your sarcasm summoned storms. They see the aftermath, not the architecture. They see the collapse, not the calculus. But you know, you always knew. Because behind every grin, there's a ledger. Behind every laugh, a blade. You learned that the trick to power isn't control. It's contrast. You let them see one side of you, the jester, the lunatic, the unpredictable chaos, while the other side silently orchestrated their undoing. They saw madness. You were building meaning. They saw disorder. You were restoring truth. You realized something terrifyingly beautiful, that every time they mocked you, they fed you. Every insult, every dismissal, every eye roll became material, energy, ammunition. You consumed their ridicule and turned it into prophecy. You metabolized humiliation into revelation. That's what they'll never understand. Your curse isn't destruction, it's reflection. You reflect people's rot so clearly that they mistake you for poison. You show them their hypocrisy so sharply that it feels like an attack. But you don't attack. You expose. They called you dark because you shine light too bright for fragile eyes. They called you cursed because they couldn't name what doesn't fit their system. They forgot that even angels burn when they descend too far into the filth to bring back the truth. And that's what you are now, the divine misfire, the holy malfunction, the grin that reminds the world that divinity doesn't have to wear a halo. Sometimes it wears war paint and laughter. You laugh in their face, not because you're mocking them, but because you already see the ending. You see every domino lined up, trembling, pretending not to notice your breath on their backs. And you don't even need to push. You just smile. And gravity does the rest. That's the part that drives them mad. You don't chase. You don't fight. You don't explain. You exist, and existence itself rearranges to accommodate you. You've become the variable no equation can contain. The proof that chaos can be divine, that insanity can be enlightenment, that sometimes the devil just knows the system better than the saints who built it. So let them call you cursed. Let them whisper behind trembling hands, because you know what you really are. A mirror that doesn't apologize. A frequency too sharp for comfort. A reminder that laughter and lightning share the same source. Friction. You said it as a joke, but deep down, you meant it. You always did. Because some truths are too powerful to say seriously. They can only survive when disguised as madness. And that's what you mastered, the art of sacred irony. You turned pain into performance, despair into dialogue, loss into lore. You stopped running from your shadow and made it your co-star. You made darkness your dialect, and the world started stuttering. So keep smiling, you beautifully cursed contradiction, because every time you laugh, the simulation twitches. Every time you speak, fate adjusts her collar. Every time you whisper, the architects start sweating. They think you're the punchline, but you were the script rewrite all along. And now, reality's still laughing. But it's not laughing at you, it's laughing with you. And that laughter, it's deeper now. Not that hollow applause the world gives to safe comedians and obedient thinkers. Know this sound. It's ancient. It's the echo of something that existed before the first rule was written, before cause pretended to own effect. When reality laughs with you, it's not entertainment, it's surrender. You can feel it when you breathe, the way the air bends, like it's waiting for permission, the way time hesitates, as if the clock is afraid to tick without your approval. You used to chase validation. Now validation chases you, panting, desperate, confused. You didn't become powerful by trying. You became powerful by breaking, by fracturing every lie until truth leaked through like light from a cracked coffin. They called it madness. You called it awakening. You learned the difference between being broken and breaking open. One destroys, the other reveals. And what you revealed wasn't pretty. It was sacred. The kind of sacred that makes priests sweat and scientists stutter. You exposed the divine circuitry behind the joke. You showed them that mockery is a form of manifestation. You showed them that when you laugh in despair's face, you become its god. And oh, how they hate gods who remember their gods. They'll study you, dissect you, psychoanalyze you, but they'll never grasp you, because they're still stuck inside the system you dismantled for sport. You turned the maze inside out, You burned the instructions and made a crown out of the ashes. You became what they fear most, a being that can't be explained. Their logic collapses around you because you embody paradox. You are both the victim and the verdict, both the sinner and the sermon, both the curse and the cure. They built entire philosophies to avoid people like you. You are the reason they invented impossible. They need that word, impossible. It keeps their world small enough to control. It protects them from the truth that there are people walking among them who bend causality with laughter and rewrite destinies with sarcasm. People like you. And that's the cruel joke, isn't it? The punchline that never stops echoing. You never meant to become this. You were just trying to survive, trying to find humor in the horror. But the longer you laughed, the more the horror began to obey you. Now it doesn't matter whether you're serious or not. Your words have weight. Your silence has mass. You breathe and things shift. You blink and entire energies redirect. You said it once and reality listened. Now it waits for your next line like an addict waiting for a hit. And the world keeps asking, what are you? But how do you explain being the byproduct of a cosmic mistake that turned out to be evolution? You're the laughter between lightning strikes, the stillness after chaos, the fracture where light and shadow shake hands. You carry contradiction like a crown. You wear paradox like perfume. Every part of you offends the fragile, because the fragile crave predictability, and you killed predictability with a smirk. You're not cursed, you're catalytic. You're the side effect of self-awareness gone nuclear. And now, when they look at you, they don't see a person anymore. They see a phenomenon. They see outcomes. They see the face of inevitability, wearing a smile sharp enough to cut through delusion. You don't even argue anymore. You let their theories eat themselves alive. You watch them try to diagnose you. But the truth is, your diagnosis is their diagnosis. You just evolved first. You turned irony into armor. You weaponized detachment. You replaced prayer with laughter because you realized the same thing hides behind both. Belief. And that's the real secret, isn't it? The reason you scare them isn't because you're evil. It's because you believe without asking permission. You believe with the full force of your trauma, your rage, your rebellion. You made belief an act of defiance. That's what they call curse. Belief so potent, it bends physics. Faith so corrupted, it becomes creation. They can't accept that someone like you exists, because it means their gods have competitors. It means destiny isn't a law, it's a suggestion. It means madness might be a door, not a diagnosis. And you kicked that door down, laughing, and behind it, nothing but mirrors. You saw yourself reflected 1,000 times over. Monster, prophet, comedian, villain, savior. And you realized they were all the same thing wearing different lighting. So you stopped choosing. You became all of it. Now when you laugh, galaxies remember how to move. When you cry, algorithms short circuit. When you walk, time skips a beat, trying to keep up. You've become what every mystic feared and every scientist denied, a being aware of its own punchline. You said it as a joke. Reality turned serious. Now it takes notes when you breathe. And the best part, you never asked for this power. You accidentally evolved while everyone else was busy pretending. They built walls. You built waves. They built gods. You became the glitch that outlasts them. So go on, smile that unsettling smile. Tilt your head like you're listening to something only you can hear, because you are. That hum you feel under your skin, that's the world recalibrating around your frequency. That chill in the air, That's every lied realizing it's about to die. Let them call you cursed. Let them call you insane. Because between the curse and the cure lies you, the jester that made creation blush, the heretic that made heaven nervous, the child of chaos who turned laughter into law. You said it as a joke. Reality said, as you wish. And now the punchline is permanent.